Hello friends, in today's lecture we are going to discuss the working principle and the features of the smartphone system, right? So in previous lecture we have discussed about the block diagram of the blocks of any electronic system. In extension to that, this is nothing but a smartphone, and we are going to see the block diagram or the blocks of the smartphone and how it works. So basically working principle of smartphones. Now, cellular phone system is the very first point. A cellular radio system provides standard by two-way radio at remote locations. Each cellular radio allows the user to link up with the standard telephone system, which permits call to any part of the world. Here we discuss a cellular phone. When technically speaking, it is a cellular radio. So basically, when we are talking about cellular phone system, we are just indirectly talking about the wireless communication. And in that wireless communication, we are using a radio waves, right? So that is why it is also called as a cellular radio. With the help of that cellular radio, we can communicate between the two devices or two persons who are located at any part of the world. As simple as that. Also, everyone is familiar with the landline phone where the receiver is at fixed place or most of the home premises if cordless phone is used. So, landline is one of the phone system or telephone system which was exist in earlier days. Nowadays, it is not seen anywhere because that landline system was like it is replaced with the wireless system. But cellular phones can be kept in pocket and can be carry over with us anywhere in the city, state, nations, or worldwide in the country. And it works as a mobile phone. And this name is popular commercially. So the one very basic disadvantage of the landline is that you cannot carry your landline wherever you are going, right? So opposite to that, in case of cellular mobile phones, you can carry your mobile phone wherever you are going, either you are in the city, you are in the state or nation, or worldwide in any country you are traveling. Okay, so this is the advantages why landline phones are replaced by the cell phones. After that, the greatest percentage of personal, business, and other communication is conducted by the mobile phone. Okay, so with the help of mobile phone, we can have a personal communication, a business communication, or any other type of communication which we wanted, right? Especially in the remote places like driving a car, accidental places, instant messaging to many person, mobile phones are essential. In this section, we discuss how the mobile phone system works and some technical terms related to the operation. Now, mobile phones are very essential part of human beings, right? So we are going to discuss the basic technical terms which are related to the operation or working of mobile phone. The very first term is mobile telephone system. It is MTS, is available to consumer and business since 1940. Okay, now let us try to understand the basic concept of cellular phone system. Okay, the basic concept behind the cellular phone system is that rather than serving a giving geographical area with a single transmitter and receiver, it divides the area into many smaller areas, that is called as a cell. Now let me tell you one thing, that whatever the geographical area we are going to have, for an example, we'll consider the example of India. Okay, so the geographical area covered by the India is not entirely called as a one cell. Okay, that entire geographical area of India is divided into small cells. Okay, now this typical cells covers only several square kilometer. For an example, if we are having a cell which is of 10 square kilometer, okay, now in that region you can have entire control of the peoples who are living in that area. For an example, if we consider the example of India, the entire geographical area covered by the India, okay, what will happen to that? It will get converted into a several smaller areas, and that small area is called as a cell. Okay, now the typically area which is covered by a one cell is about several square kilometers only. Okay, and it contains its own receiver and the low power transmitter. So as you can see in the diagram, There are different kinds of cells are available, right? So this one hexagonal shape is called as a cell. Now this single cell will have its own one receiver and one low power transmitter. Okay. Now let me tell you the reason why these cells are in the hexagonal in shape, not in square, or not why not in circle, right? Because if we just cover a hexagonal, if we just cover an area in the hexagonal format, no area will be left. Okay, each and every corner of India will get connected to the cell. Okay, the cell site is designed to relatively serve only vehicles in its small area. The desired service area is divided into many multiple cells as shown in the figure. Now we are going to see what actually happens to all these cells. Okay, so this is MTSO. What is MTSO? MTSO is what? Mobile Telephone System Organization. After, so cellular telephone network, this diagram is all about cellular telephone network. As shown in the figure, each repeater in its cell is responsible to cover in small cell, right? Although the cells are shown in hexagon, in real situation the antenna's pattern will not achieve this precision. Hence, the cells are more likely to be approximately circular with some overlap. Now, let me tell you one thing. Antenna is a very important factor which plays major role in the wireless communication. Okay, if we just ideally, as I told you, the geographical area is divided into hexagonal shape. But practically, if you are going to see, it is not exactly hexagon, it is kind of circular shape. Why? Because the precision or the radiation intensity of the antenna is not able to cover the hexagonal shape area. Okay, that is why it is almost about circular format. And also all the cells are not of same size. It depends on the population area, uses of telephone in that area, like business area, school area, suburban area, etc. For an example, the cells which are shown in this figure are equal. But in practical, if you see, not each and every cell is of same size. Why? Because it is dependent on the different factors. For an example, population. If there is a city whose population is very low, then why, like, we are not going to have a big cell. We'll have a small cell, right? Uses of a telephone. For an example, if in particular city, the peoples are not likely to use the telephone system. Okay, for an example, if we consider rural area or any undeveloped area of India, then the people who are living in that area are not likely to use mobile phones continuously. So in that region, we can have a small size of a cell. Likewise, we can just divide the area into the different cells. After that, all cell sites in the region are connected by a copper cable, fiber optics, and nowadays with the microwave link to the central office called as a mobile switching center. Now, each cell, okay, we just we just saw that there is a entire geographical area that is converted into the smaller areas, and each area is called as a cell. Okay, now that each and every cell has its own central office. Okay, and that central office is called as mobile switching center, MSC. Okay, or mobile telephone switching center, you can just also it called as a MTSO. And the MCs are then themselves interconnected so that system can keep track of its mobile phones. For an example, each cell have its own MSC, right, or MTSO. Now all these MTSO or all these MSCs are connected to each other, so that what will happen if you are traveling from one cell to one cell, what will happen? Your call is automatically get transferred, right? How that call is transferred from one cell to one cell, we are going to see in the next point. Currently, just focus on, there is an entire geographical area. That geographical area is converted into a smaller area. Each smaller area is called as a cell. Each cell has its own central office, and that central office is called as mobile switching center or mobile telephone switching office. Okay, and all these mobile switching centers or mobile telephone switching offices are interconnected to each other. Okay, the cellular system is connected at a point of presence to the landline telephone network. Thus, cellular phone customers can speak to landline customers and vice versa. For an example, if one of the person is having cellular phone and the other person is having landline phone, now if what if they want to communicate in between, one person is having cellular phone and other person is having landline phone, so they can talk to each other with the help of the phones or the mobile communication they have. Okay, the cellular phone consumers can speak to landline customer and vice versa, so they can talk to each other. Here we must note that there is no facility for the direct mobile to mobile communication even though both mobile phones are in the same room. Okay, every call from one to other mobile goes through a cell site and a MSC only. For an example, like if there are two persons who are in the same room only, okay, and if they try to call each other, their call is not going to get directly transferred from one to other. Okay, what will happen? That call will firstly go to the MSC, that is mobile switching center, and that mobile switching center connect that call to the next person who is sitting in the same room. Okay, so it is not like if you are like nearby then you can have direct communication. It is not like that. Wherever you are, if you are sitting next to each other or if you are having a have if you are in the different countries, in both the situation, if you are calling each other, your call will first go to the MSC mobile switching center and then it is get connected to the next person to whom you want to call, right? Every call from one to other mobile goes through a cell site and MSC only. It is if it is landline communication, then each cell will go through PSTN, public switching telephone network. Now, the next and very most important point is how the call is automatically transferred from one to other cell. I just told you if you are having if you are living in the area which comes under the cell one, okay. Suppose for an example, this is my cell one, and here I am living, and this is my adjacent cell which is probably we'll call this as a cell 2. Okay, so what if I'm traveling from cell 1 to cell 2? See, the thing is that if I'm living in the cell 1, what will happen? I will get connected to the mobile switching center of a first cell, right? But what if I'm traveling from this cell to this cell? Okay, if I'm traveling from cell 1 area of cell 1 to the area of cell 2, in that case what will happen? We are going to study in this case. Just remember one thing, in which area I am automatically get connected to the MSC of that particular cell. As I told you, each and every cell have its own mobile switching center, and the users which are located in that particular cell are also get connected to the mobile switching center of that particular cell only, right? If the person is living in this cell, will not get connected to the MSC of this, that will get connected to the MSC of first cell only. Okay, so you have to remember this thing while studying the automatically transferation of the call. All right, now next thing is that uh, how the call is automatically transferred from one cell to another cell. The very basic name of this is handoff. Okay, concept of handoff. Now we shall see how the call is automatically transferred from one cell to another cell. This is the most advantageous of cellular phones since it is provided mobility and still the call continues everywhere. Even a person carrying mobile is inside a car or in the or on the vehicle. The meaning or extract of this paragraph is that if we are moving from one place to other place, still we are not losing our mobile connection, right? We are still on the call. Why? This is the beauty of the mobile phone communication. The mobile telephone switching offices controls all the cells are provides all the cells and provides the interface between each cell and the maintain the telephonic office. As the owner of mobile phone calling or receiving from a cell, it will be served by the cell transceiver. The telephone call will be routed through MTSO and through the standard telephone system. When the mobile phone owners crosses the cell within his vehicle, the system will automatically switch from one cell to the next. This transfer of call in progress from one cell to another cell called as a handling. Now, let me explain the meaning of this paragraph. If you are in the cell 1, okay, this is your cell 1 and this is the cell 2. And if you are moving from cell 1 to cell 2, what will happen? At the center of this cell, there is a mobile switching center and it will provide a range to the users who are in the particular area. Okay, So if you are moving away from this mobile switching center, the range of your mobile phone is start decreasing. Okay, as you are close to this station, you will have a very good quality of network. As you are moving away from this center, you will start losing your range, right? Now what will happen once this station or this base station, you can call it, it detects that one of the user from my area is started losing its range. Okay, what it will do, it will send signal to the nearby base station. Okay, so second cell is the nearby cell for to the cell 1. Okay, what cell 1 will do, it will send a notification to the cell 2, and cell 2 will detect. Okay, cell 2 will observe, is there any person who is coming in into my range. Okay, if the cell 2 detects that one person is coming into my range, then automatically the cell 2 will accept that person and gives the range of second cell. This is how automatically call is transferred from one cell to other cell. And this process is called as a concept of handoff. Okay, I hope you guys are clear with this concept. Next, the receiver in each cell base station continuously monitors the signal strength of a mobile unit. I just told you the base unit or base station of a cell 1 is continuously monitoring the signal strength of the users who are in its range, right? The optimized transmission and reception through the paper selection of a signal is monitored by the computers situated at MTSO. So who will observe all this status? The computer, obviously. Cellular carriers and frequencies are allocated with the channels. The control channels are used to allocate noise channels to mobile phones. When the user dials a phone number on a mobile, the phone scans all the control channel frequencies to find the strongest. This control channel is associated with the closest cell site. The mobile phone transmitted on its corresponding channel, and once the call has been set up, the cell site assigned a clear voice channel. The signal strength is continuously monitored to make available strongest signal while the conversion continues. A similar procedure takes place for the incoming calls as also. Now, what we are actually looking for is the meaning of this entire paragraph is what? How the actually process of communication is done. Okay, if I'm dialing one of the number from my telephone, what will happen? Like maybe you have observed this thing. Once you dial the number, it is not immediately get connected, right? It takes few seconds in between, right? What happens in that few seconds? I'm going to explain this now. Now, once I dial the number, what happens? My telephone get connected to the mobile switching center, right? That channel or that frequency or that mobile switching center is finding if the route of the dialed number is available or not. Okay, or the channel which is allocated to the user who is at the receiver side, is that channel free or not? If that channel is free, then what will happen? Your call is directly get connected to the user. Okay, and while all this process is happening, the computer which is placed at the MTSO, it will continuously monitor the signal strength at the both the ends. Okay, and if the signal strength is proper or if it is good, then it will allow to communicate. If signal strength is not good in the on the either of the end, like either from the receiver side or sender side, if the range is not sufficient, if the signal strength is not sufficient, then it will disconnect the communication. Okay, the same process happens for the incoming call also. Advanced mobile phone switch services, AMPS, the North American analog cell phone system uses FM modulation, that is frequency modulation. Like FM frequency modulation is a huge concept itself. 30 kilohertz, and the channels in the 800 megahertz region of the spectrum. So there is an electromagnetic spectrum, and that spectrum covers all types of frequencies. In that frequencies, FM modulation with 30 kilohertz is used, and the channels are of 800 megahertz region. The digital voice communication uses more bandwidth than the analog. So whatever is the type of communication, that decides the bandwidth which is used. If you are using a digital voice communication, then you will require a large bandwidth. And if you're using an analog type of communication, then probably you will need a smaller bandwidth. But because of the flexibility and immunity to the accumulation of noise, digital communication is preferred. Now, There is a difference, or you can say plus point of a digital communication, that it has flexibility and it has immunity for the accumulation of the noise. So if any noise by chance gets added into your signal, it has that immunity to fight with the noise. That is why in most of the cases digital communication is preferred. Even the bandwidth requirement is large, flexibility and the accumulation of the noise is very important parameters. That is why digital communication is used most. This more channels and security is provided the digital communication system. Security as well as more channels are also provided in the digital type of communication. So if we are compromising with the one factor, that is bandwidth, we can have the multiple of its advantages. Okay, hope you guys are clear with the concept. If not, just let me know. I'll explain this again. With this, we'll stop for this today's lecture, and we'll cover the remaining portion in the next lecture.